think we can practice some really basic training now. She doesn't think so, I suppose. Oh, okay, no. How does she know she doesn't want to be in the bathtub? How do dogs know this? I'm Zach George, I'm a dog trainer. Meet my new project, Kona. I've got just 3 weeks to train her and set her up for the most well-behaved life possible. That means I need to work on the most common puppy issues like potty training, how to actually pay attention, stopping things like play biting, chewing, separation anxiety, getting along with other animals, leash walking, and teaching her everything a good dog needs to know. Real dog training doesn't always go smoothly, and that's why I'm going to show you every success and mistake and how I work through all the most challenging parts of raising a new puppy. Welcome to your new puppy survival guide. Today, hopefully, we are going to achieve the impossible, teaching a puppy to love getting a bath. As if that wasn't enough pressure, we're also going to take Kona out into the real world and see how that goes. While Kona's getting a bath, you are gonna get a spa day too. Barkbox is amazing because they make the most interesting, detailed dog toys that I'm aware of, and they send you new, diverse toys every month. Well, this one's a succulent, but look, it's a chinchilla in a towel. It's one of my favorite toys ever. And of course, you get really top-of-the-line treats as well. Just look at all the different textures on this one toy. You have the towel texture and then that fluffy, woolly texture. And of course, squeakers. Toys like this just keep your dog engaged and interested. But if you're thinking, hey Zach, my dog would destroy these kinds of toys, then Super Chewer is for you. The Super Chewer theme is Mutt Mountain Slopes. I mean, you can see Super Chewer toys are ultra durable, but still super fun. They still squeak, you just have to try a little bit harder. Check out the ski lift right here. Look at that tug. That's what I'm talking about. You're a Super Chewer dog. These Super Chewer toys are ultra tough right here. This kind of toy has a lot of miles on it. And of course, you get super treats with Super Chewer too. All of you can get a free Barkbox, Super Chewer box, or both by going to my special link and signing up for a 6 or 12-month plan. I'll have those links in the description. So today we're at our local hardware store. We are going to do some training with Kona in a new type of place that she's likely never been to before. This is in the spirit of just continuing to give her more and more exposure to new places. I think we'll start over here, kind of in the garden section, which is this hybrid indoor-outdoor place, just in the interest of phasing in a new environment to the best of our ability. You can smell all of the different scents out here. And so you can only imagine, it must be much more intense for Kona. Maybe we could stay away from the manure, that might be a good idea. You can see, I mean, it really has her attention there, that smell, but that was pretty good. I like how she took a minor interest and then she's moving on. Really good. And I just want to be really clear, the point of this session is to show her a new place, not to insist that she act perfectly, not to ask her how to do everything in the world, but just to make sure that she knows places like this exist. We're going in off-peak hours right now, so she's not going to get overwhelmed by people. Come on, girl. She's real responsive to that gentle encouragement. Like sometimes I'll catch myself encouraging her to move along and there's some minor tension on the leash, but she takes to that pretty well, which is always nice. I'm gonna go real cautiously here because this can be daunting. I mean, look, can you see that? Look at her, she's already a little nervous. But not too nervous, that was good. Very nice. Let's go this way. Here's a nice aisle to go down. How about the paint aisle? What do you think? I should say too, if you're gonna bring a young dog to a place like this, really, or any dog, make sure you're equipped and ready to pick up any potty accidents should they occur. Let's go around this way. Come on, girl. Excuse me, thanks. You got it? Oh, there she goes. That's nice work. So far here, really healthy energy. She's doing really well. Typically when I come to a place like this to work with a dog, I like to stay around the edge where it's a little less populated to just ease them in. Because see, if I went straight down here, you can already see this moderate group of people here and the carts and everything. I don't know how she's likely to react. So remember, in the interest of just slowly building up to something that's more and more potentially overwhelming to a dog, you're likely to have more success that way. Anytime you're doing anything new with your dog, go slow wherever possible. Because in the end, you're gonna find that you're really gonna achieve faster progress. You're much more likely to stall out in any number of areas with training your dog if you try to rush things. And so I love how she's reacting to these shopping carts. She's consistently looking at them, not barking at them. A lot of dogs might do that, and that's okay if they do that. I mean, that is also within the range of normal. You've seen me deal with that with my own dog Inertia as we were doing videos like this in my other series, the dog training experience. When you compare this aisle compared to the center aisle, a lot less daunting potentially. At least that's the plan, but every once in a while, your plans backfire, so always be prepared to be flexible. No tension on the leash here. You can see how she's just being guarded. I haven't given her any treats or anything like that at this point. I'm just trying to let her take things in. Now, if she appeared to be like a little apprehensive, a little nervous, I might offer her a treat to try and create that association with this environment. But she looks content to just kind of look around, smell the air. Oh, okay, I guess it's a break time. But really, I love how she does this. Granted, she does kind of bring her walk to a complete stop, but this body position and the relaxation just suggests to me that she's really comfortable here, so I think that's so cool. I don't know what she's saying by lying down with this. I don't know if she's bored, tired, or if she just wants to have a moment to explore her surroundings. She's peeking at a shopping cart over here, and I'm pretty satisfied that she's being pretty well adjusted here. I mean, she's acting normal. I think we can practice some really basic training now. She doesn't think so, I suppose. No, you need to learn. We've got to give you school. Sit. Look at that right away. This is not the time to phase out treats right now. You stand. Yes. Stay. Okay, come. Love how she responded to stay right there. And I asked her to come from what, a foot or two away? That's all we're trying to do. Here she's starting to get ahead. This will be a nice little test. Kona, come. Love it. Yes. Good. I'm gonna give her an extra big reward there. Break that treat up into 3 or 4 pieces. That way she thinks she's getting more. That's a nice little dog training hack. It takes them a second to figure out that it's the same amount of treat. Let's verify that we can do the leave it, look at me combo in this new environment. Leave it. Look at me. Yes! Good girl, very good. Nice work. Oops. Look at me. Yes, good. Had a gentleman walk by there. Was able to get her attention. Okay, how about shake? Let's see, does she even know shake? She was doing it a little when we were teaching her how to ring the bells. Sit. Just move my hand around. Yes, a lot of dogs will just try and grab you like that. What's this? Yes, shake. Here, shake. No, not bite. Ouch. Yes, nice. Looking good, girl. Very nice. Kona, come. Yeah, good. Now, one of the things I'd like to practice here, and again, this is all provided that she continues to do well. Leave it alone. No, what is that? Leave it. Real life leave it opportunity. There's a candy bar wrapper. Look at me. Yes. Come on. Okay. Good girl. So, all of those things happening in the background are experiences for your dog. You can hear that loud sound really threw her off. So, important moment right here to be extra cautious. I'm going to abandon the leave it training session. I'm actually going to see how she reacts. She still wants the candy bar wrapper. Okay. We'll just get rid of that for right now. She was thrown off, but I think she's okay. So I'm going to try to continue on with the walk here. Kona! Kona, come. Kona, come. This way. Let's go this way and see what we can do. Leave it. Yes! Good girl! She was sniffing this plastic over here and she left it alone. So I want to acknowledge that I like that. What's up? What's up? Stay. Yes. And okay, come on. Good girl. Yeah. Paws up, looking good. So I'm gonna kind of do a little bit of a leash walking session here with her to see how she does here in this new place. Kona, come. Good, and by leash walking, I want her attention generally on me. I want to know that she's gonna turn directions when I turn around. Kona, come on, this way. Good, like that, and Kona, this way, yes. Go ahead and give her a treat for that one. Really what I'm rewarding there is the turn, that she's not just walking aimlessly and she's paying attention to me so that I can lead this walk. Kona, really well done here. Hey, what happens if we do this? Come here. I'm gonna come back around here. Kona! Kona, look at her. See how she's looking at me? Following me along for the walk? I really like that. Come on, girl. Yes. Sit, stay, leave it. Look at me. Okay, yes, good girl. I mean, you know, what do you do with a dog like this? You gotta give her at least an A+, don't you? Look at that. You're a pro. How about that? I mean, there's a lot of dogs who would get nervous of that later in life or even as puppies, but this is why when you show them these big carts and all these loud noises at a young age like this, they're so much more likely to behave well as they get older. Because these experiences are even more impactful when they're young than when they're older.
Well behaved for a puppy.
Isn't she? I wish I could take credit. She really is just a good dog.
Look at that. She's like, thank you. I know. What did you say she was?
She's an Irish Doodle. I'd never heard of one till her. Just even as I sit here and have the random conversation, the fact that she's staying and being good, these are all things that happen that you don't necessarily plan on when you're training a dog. I mean, some dogs might get really insistent that you pay attention to them instead of talking to someone else. So a good real world rehearsal for when we do find ourselves with our dog years down the road. At a fair, in public, taking a walk, you'll want to know that your dog can just chill while you talk to someone and say hi. They're not all this low maintenance though. So whether you have to work for it and really get your dog to be this way or they're like this naturally, either way, you want to acknowledge that you like it. So this one's interesting here. Look at this. Here we go. I'm happy to let her back away there. That's a good example. Even though we saw, what, 3 or 4 big carts go by that were making loud sounds, this one, for some reason, really tended to throw her off a little bit. And I'm happy to let her get her own space. You don't want to just hold your dog down there. So we're gonna try to go down this more busy center aisle in the interest of taking steps that aren't too big. Good girl. Nice work. This is what threw her off there. You can see she's looking at it. But better reaction that time, even though it wasn't moving. Still pretty good. Got a nice little shake off there. Good girl. Hello. Come on, keep moving. Looks like she thought about jumping on someone there, but did pretty well. And while we're here, she's getting good exposure to people and good interactions with people, which are very beneficial for dogs long-term, obviously. Oh, and look, there's a forklift. I love how it's driving away from her so that she can take it in without any increasing stress. She's getting a lot of social time with other people, which is extremely beneficial to a dog like this. So I want to teach her something new right now. I was thinking we could just introduce this concept of stay while I'm out of sight. Sit. Yes. Do you want to lie down? Good. Stay. Yes. Look at me. Stay. Yes. Okay, good girl. Let's see if we can do this a little bit better. Stay. Yes. Okay, good work. I think I'll quit while I'm ahead. That was a great success. That is how you introduce stay while you're out of sight. Very slowly, half a second to a second at a time. Don't push them to failure, you know? That was the first time she's done that. Teaching your dog to stay when you're not in sight is challenging to teach, especially if you try to take steps that are huge. But if you introduce it slowly like this, you're more likely to have success. It's just a great way to build a reliable stay under yet another unique situation. The more you work on things like stay when your dog can't see you, the better, because you just never know when you're going to need that skill, and it's better to practice it before you need it. Kona just continues to impress, doesn't she? I wanted to go over how to get your dog used to being cleaned. I mean, you might remember we've already talked about brushing, we've already talked about trimming nails and getting your dog comfortable with being touched all over so that you can get them used to being eventually bathed. So I want to go over with you my process that I go through to get a dog comfortable with being bathed. For probably most dogs, it's not their favorite thing. Some dogs will go crazy and flip out and try and jump out of the tub. Others might tolerate it but might not enjoy it. I want to start really easy and make things super simple for her. She's really into this right now. Our goal when we're cleaning a dog is to try and make it as enjoyable as possible for them. In other words, I'd prefer that they don't just tolerate it, I'd prefer that they actually enjoy it. And by pairing something that your dog really likes with getting cleaned or bathed, we're more likely to increase the odds that they enjoy the process. Now, she obviously enjoys playing, but it might be hard to clean her if she's all over the place like this and super active, right? So why don't we try something else? This is a toy here that has peanut butter. We got this in a super chewer box recently, and I think this is gonna be helpful for today's lesson. So we're gonna let her lick that. And while you guys are being entertained by that, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna touch her with the cloth here, nice and soft. In other words, I like that she's not freaking out right now and that she's not running away. This is good. She's pretty infatuated with that. So I'm gonna go get the washcloth wet now. Now it's wet. I'm gonna let her see that it's different. Good. Just gonna touch her here, right? Going really delicate. I mean, you can see she's enjoying her peanut butter. And this is great because look how stable she's being. So the hope is that when we do eventually give her a bath, she'll be like, I love when this happens because I get something really awesome. Like a super chewer toy with peanut butter on it. She's starting to get a little wet here. This is good. She looks a little like, what are you doing? So I want to show it to her and just be on the super up and up. I don't mind so much getting the carpet a little wet here with water in the interest of getting her comfortable. Oh, she was like, well, that's weird, but she's not necessarily nervous of it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pet her and rub it in just as though I would if she were getting an actual bath right now. As long as Kona does well here, we're going to actually go take a real bath in a second. This would be my very first time giving her one, and doing this is so delicate. You don't want it to go wrong and then cause your dog to dislike baths in the future. So we'll do everything we can to avoid that. It's on a side note, great toy for keeping your dog engaged. The Puckle toy is a winner. Now look at this. What happens if we get her tail? Good job. A little sensitivity, but not enough to cause her to just abandon the lesson. I'm hoping that this extra step here of doing this little sponge bath here in the living room is likely to prep her for the real thing. Now, if she seemed really nervous at this step, I might want to consider holding off on giving her a full-on bath and just try to do my best. Because honestly, once your dog becomes fearful of something like a bath, it's not that you can never get them back and get them comfortable. You certainly can, but it takes a lot more effort and time probably to get them back to being comfortable with a bath. So I'd rather just start off the process by going extra slow and keeping her pretty enthused about the whole process. So now look at this. I'm being a bit more rough here. I'm really going back and forth. Look how stable she is right now. Staying in her spot. Gonna get those hind legs. Good girl, see that? Nice job. We even got her whole head there. Good job, good work. All right, shake off, good. We got a proper shake off and everything there. All right, so let's take off her collar here and let's go take a real bath. Okay, so here we are in the bathroom. Hey, Kona. Oh, very good. This can be a little nerve-wracking as a dog trainer because you understand how much anxiety you can produce here with a dog if you're not extremely careful. She's proven to be a pretty resilient puppy, so I think she's gonna be okay. Kona! Come. Yes. Paws up. Look at that. We're starting to combine many of her skills. So I'm gonna lift her up gently here. I'm letting her know I've got the treats. There we go. And so that's a little weird. Here you go, what's that? Oh, okay, no. How does she know? How does she know she doesn't want to be in the bathtub? How do dogs know this? Good girl. Here, what's this? So, you know, just like with the crate, we want to get her comfortable with being here. I'm going to break up these little treats and just kind of throw them in there. So you can see she's happy to stay in there when treats are happening. And this is actually counter conditioning her, changing her association with the bathtub, hopefully. That's what we're trying to do here. Look at this. See how she's not jumping out? That's huge. That's really good. In other words, we really want her staying in there voluntarily. Good job. We'll do this for a little bit more. So I really don't want to rush this process. With your own dog, you can consider giving them one of their meals like this. So let's go ahead and just do that. I just turned it on and off. Once again, let her know, look, there's that thing. Here you go. Of course, the sound of the water going down the drain is likely to be interesting. Good. Off and on. Maybe we'll try to graduate to a steady stream there. Yes. The treat over there. You can see how well she's doing. So it's well worth taking plenty of time to go slow like this in the beginning. Look at those muddy paws. Look how dirty this tub already is. You need a bath so bad. Not only is she not scared of it, she feels comfortable going right up to the stream of water there. That's wonderful. It's really good. And turn it on a little more. To make sure it doesn't get too warm, I'm gonna turn on some cold water over here. Good girl, yes. So now I think we're ready to move on here a little bit and get her nice and wet. I'm gonna break out the peanut butter toy over here. Let's try that for a minute and see how it goes. Doing anything with your puppy for the first time can feel pretty daunting, but it doesn't have to be. I'll walk you through all of the important firsts with your puppy in both of my books. I'll have links in the description where you can check them out. I do want to be very sensitive of her head. That's often where many dogs are like, I am out. Just squeezing some water on, not even pouring it with the pitcher yet. Good girl, you're really doing great. You can see she stops to check in every once in a while. We're gonna put puppy shampoo on you now. Just gonna put a little bit of shampoo on her. I don't know how far I'm gonna get in the rinsing process, so I don't wanna put too much on her, just a really minimal amount right now. What's that? Good girl. So big moment here. Good girl, that feels nice. Good girl. Yes, what's this? Let's go ahead and, what's this? What's this? Yes. Yeah, it's gotta be a new sensation, having warm water pulled all over her there. Good girl. Notice she's voluntarily staying here. I'm not having to hold her. I'm doing my best to use as little restraint as possible here. Yeah. So, I mean, the other alternative here is you could just hold them down and force them to be okay with the bath, but that would definitely have side effects and make both of you dread bath time in the future. It's really important that you try to aim for a place of enjoying bath time together, because you'll likely give them a better, more thorough bath if they enjoy it. Notice how her head's nice and poofy and dry, and notice how her body is really skinny and funny. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how small you were until this moment. I'm gonna get a little rougher with her there because she's doing great, just so I can be more vigorous, getting her used to this motion. Look at this, she's doing great. I think we're about done. I think we're all about done. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. I think that was a stellar first bath, but we still have to dry her. Here we go. Look at you. Whoa, you gotta stay here. I'm also gonna be really gentle about drying her. I'm not gonna let her jump out of the tub, as that's not as safe. So same logic here. I'm gonna let her nibble out of my hand while I get her dry. And again, we don't need to be too thorough on drying her right now. It's more important that we just make this a wonderful association. We wouldn't want to blow all of this progress by being too aggressive on drying her and causing her to freak out. So she's doing great. That was an amazing first bath. Get a free Barkbox or Super Chewer or both. Check out the links in the description. Barkbox.com/dogtraining and superchewer.com/dogtraining. Subscribe to my channel, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and get a copy of both of my books. Again, all those links will be below. She might be stuck here forever. Kona, let's go. Come on. Are you ready to go home?